Hello, my name is Cara-Hope.lorraine, and welcome to A Little Piece of Hope. On this podcast, we dive into the many realms of life through sharing my love of being an actor, discussing fascinating topics with some incredible people, and honestly, just being a God-loving human being who wants to spread hope and kindness in all that I do. So, stick around for a while. I think you'll truly enjoy being here. Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of A Little Piece of Hope. I am so excited for today's topic because it is a topic that many of you are going to either relate to or learn from, and that is on open and closed doors. It's not only a thing we go throughout our lives dealing with, because life is really just one big journey, but we also go through it in our careers, our industries, and our professions of life. So I'm going to start off this entire topic with the foundation of which I live on, and that is faith. Faith is such an important thing to me because God has given me so much peace and joy no matter what path I am on. I would say I really didn't find this sense of relaxation in my life until this past year. And when I truly figured out, okay, what does it mean to really trust in the Lord and, feel peaceful on the journey that He's called me to? It's so easy to get focused on what others are doing, on what the world is saying I need to do, to be, what my job is saying I need to portray. It's easy. It's easy to pick up a phone and look on the internet on who you're supposed to be. But it's even harder to sit with yourself and stay clear and focused on who you are at your core. So faith is my foundation for this. I truly have learned to put my full hope, trust, and worries in God. And although I'm not perfect, and although it can be a struggle many times, it is so worth it. I'm very open when it comes to my faith. I'm very bold about it. I will tell anyone and everybody. If they ask, what makes me me? Who am I? I simply say, I am this loving person because of God. I am this joyful, happy human being, soul, whatever you want to call it, because of Him, because God's love is perfect, and because His representation of how humans should be is wonderfully put. Love your neighbor, love one another, the whole shebang. So following God for me is how I've really figured out closed doors, open doors. Is this the right door? Is this the wrong door? Because I don't think we ever pick a wrong door to go through. God goes with us down whichever door we pick. I don't think there's a specific door that's like, oh, this is the one, this is it. No, we have free will. We're human beings. Our life isn't really put on a piece of paper before us on how we should do it. We have choices, and that's the beautiful thing about it, is we have a chance to craft our own destiny, craft our own will, craft our own journeys, and really make our dreams become realities. This brings to mind a recent story that I have about a project I auditioned for, I would say last fall. So it was a long time in the works. I had got cast in the project as a lead in the feature film, and I was just ecstatic. I was stoked. It had worked out in my schedule. I was super ready and felt like this was, this is it. Well, needless to say, a few months go by and, things change. That production had to change their schedules around, and I was already booked on other projects at the time as well, so I couldn't find a way to make this project work anymore. I sat up at night. I felt sick about it. What is happening? Am I doing something wrong? Do I need to clear my whole schedule for this? Really wrestling with that inner sense that is like, am I messing up here? Did I make a wrong mistake? Because I ended up having to drop out of the project. It crushed my soul. It was so difficult to email that director and be like, I'm so sorry, but I can't do the project now since the dates have changed and all the logistics have changed. Broke my heart. As a new and up-and-coming actress, to turn down a lead role in a feature film is probably one of the saddest things that could ever happen, or at least you think it could be one of the saddest things to happen to you. But time passed. And as time passed and that door was closed, I truly found a way to come to terms with being at peace with, okay, that project wasn't right. Maybe the next project will be right around the corner. So I just kept auditioning. I kept working on things. I kept getting prepared for the projects I'm currently on and about to shoot since this is in present time. So a couple weeks ago, I get an email from this director. And it says, please help. We've had an actress drop out 10 days before shooting. So I open up the email so fast. I look at it, I read it, I call up the director, and he's like, hey, the girl dropped out. She's a supporting role. I literally will do anything possible to work around your schedule to get you on this film and to, play this part. I just had to take a moment and be like, oh my goodness, God is so good. Sometimes doors that shut, they reopen. Let me say that again. Sometimes doors that shut momentarily, they reopen. Because that door shutting literally taught me a whole nother life lesson that I didn't even know I was prepared for. And I learned how to give my life to God, to be really peaceful in the moment when things go wrong or things don't go as planned or in my way. I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling of wanting to control your life, wanting to control how everything is going. Because it's scary. Giving your life to the universe, giving your life to God, giving your life up to chance is terrifying. We have a lot of things in our control, but at the end of the day, there are a lot more things out of our control than in our control. You know what I mean? So it was terrifying. Learning a lesson that I really feel like I've learned over and over throughout my life, because it's a theme that you're going to go through. You're going to go through having to figure out how to, give up control, give up the freedom, and just enjoy the ride. So when this project and door opened back up, I knew that it was from the Lord. I knew that I was meant to be a part of this project. And I said yes so quick you would not even believe. Needless to say, things are going great on the project. It's probably one of the greatest opportunities I've ever had open up. And that's all thanks to God and his amazing plan and purpose. And it was really just by me saying, okay, this door wasn't meant to be open. That's fine. I tried to push through it. I tried to break down the door, but it didn't work at the end of the day. And I'm going to have to come to terms with it and focus on the future and focus on moving forward. Oh, just saying that right now gives me so much peace. When you give up, and not give up in a sense stop trying hard, stop working, not in that sense at all. It's that sense of being I'm doing everything I know I'm supposed to do, and if it's meant to be, that door is gonna open, and if it's not meant to be, that door is gonna be slammed shut in my face. Thank you, Lord, for determining what is supposed to happen, because a lot of people don't realize this, but it's so easy when you're in the moment to just focus on what's right in front of you. But God has a bird's eye view, sitting up above on the clouds, wherever he's at. He sees all, he knows all, and he sees what you're going through. Okay, so by now you're probably wondering, okay, I get the story, cool, but tell me about how you pick doors yourself. How do you even try doors? My mom growing up would always say this saying that you keep opening up doors until the door opens and then you fall down the rabbit hole into that next little journey. I think that's what you have to do. Well, first of all, I recommend, really becoming close with who you are and getting to know yourself. What do you want? What makes you happy? Are you truly on the path that you see for yourself? Because I know and I fully believe that those dreams we have, can be realities. They are realities in some senses. We've thought about them so much, we've planned every single detail in our brains that they're just waiting to be acted on. It's almost like a blueprint in a way. Now, the blueprints aren't always perfect, and blueprints do change, but it's like a map of your soul telling you what it wants you to do. It was like for me, knowing that acting was what I was called to, I just had this sense that I just felt so much joy and peace and growth and strength doing this career. I mean, it's crazy to think that something that requires so much work doesn't even feel like work at the end of the day. It's just pure joy, pure serotonin, pure adrenaline. It's like every single endorphin coming at you at once. People are like, that seems like so much work. How do you memorize all those lines? Like, how did you get into this? And I'm like, because I enjoy it, I just have fun. Don't get me wrong, I work hard. Trust me, that is at the core foundation of this part. But I love it so much that I wouldn't want it any other way. My soul is most happy when I'm on a set. My soul thrives every single time I'm reading a new script, a new set of sides that I get for an audition. I love auditioning. I think it's really fun. And for those of you who maybe are acting or scared of auditioning, don't be. It's a chance to play, it's a chance to have fun, and really just explore different people's characters and shoes. And then if the door opens there that you get that part, then great. And if not, you just don't sit on it and you keep going with life because it wasn't meant for you. So now this brings me into my next little part about when there is a no, when that door does shut, it just wasn't for you. And the next door that does open is going to be better than any door that you could ever think of. The beautiful thing about really just following God, staying close to His Word, really spending time with His presence is I know that whatever happens on this earth, I'm going to be okay. That's a hard concept to really grasp when you're born into a world where a lot of bad things happen. I have this saying that it feels like a lot more bad happens than good, so you have to cherish the good because in those bad times, the good will get you through them. Those memories, those joyful, emotions that you may had or whatever it may be. I think we need to learn to embrace the no's, to embrace the closed doors, because when you embrace the closed doors, you find liberty, you find freedom, and you find happiness. If anybody listening to this is questioning whether they should be doing this thing with their life, but everyone is telling them no, that they can't do this, that this isn't right, know that that's a good sign. People telling you that you can't do it is a good sign. Because that means, honestly, most likely that that's what you're meant to be doing. People told me all the time, you're thinking about being an actor? That's not a career path. How are you going to eat or put food on the table? I was like, no, I know I'm meant to be doing this and I know it's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know it will because that's where I'm so happy doing it that it just doesn't, nothing else matters. If you're considering following your heart, following that scary dream that you have at night that is like you moving to Hawaii and learning how to surf and becoming a professional surfer, like, you know what? Do it. Who is holding you back? I find that it's not the world that's holding us back. It's ourselves. We will make excuses to get out of any situation or to explain why we can't do a certain job or a certain, skill set. It's just our fear getting in the way. That's what it comes down to. So I think the root of all of this that we've been digging to is fear. Those closed doors just bring up fear in us, honestly. And even the open doors do as well. This brings up, though, a very important topic that kind of falls into, the path that you're on or, yeses and nos. And that is You need to be at peace with who you are. Don't take that for granted, because if you aren't at peace in who you are, or in your skin, or in your body, or in your mind, or in your soul, or maybe in your relationship with God, you aren't fully going to be able to reap the benefits of doing those amazing things that you're called to in life. Going down that door is extra terrifying when you don't have a sense of foundation. This kind of comes full circle, whether that is God for you or maybe it's not. For me, it is having a foundation to really rest in, because I don't want my whole life to just be all about my career, to be all about, the thing that I think makes me most happy. Like, you shouldn't find your worth in your career. You shouldn't find your worth in a job or in an activity or in a skill set. Those bring you so much happiness, yes. But at the end of the day, I still love myself and I still love my relationship with the Lord, whether I had those things or not. See, that's where the foundation starts. Where is the tree growing? What soil are you planting in? I know I talk in a lot of metaphorical ways, but it is truly one of the best ways to get across the points that I'm trying to describe. So just know that by you working on yourself, by you working on your relationships, on the things that maybe make you tick, or the things, even just perfecting, like working on the good parts of you, like that already is putting out such an amazing vibe into the universe for you to really find that path that you're supposed to be on. I have found that anytime I've been working on myself, just as much as I have on other things, I have been able to really enjoy life on such a different level, because I was really finding peace with who I was, where I'm at, what I'm doing. Your peace is honestly such an important gift to protect. People will try to steal your peace no matter where you are in this life. So protect your peace. This kind of leads me into the last few thoughts of today's episode. And that is honestly that open and closed doors all start with your foundation. Because no matter what path you're going to go down in life, no matter what journey you are on, you're going to be so okay. You're going to be more than okay. It's all going to work out. Everything happens how it's supposed to be. You are doing what you are supposed to do. So maybe if you're in a really bad circumstance right now, just know that somehow, some way, it's going to come into your future and help you out. Maybe a life lesson learned, maybe a different insight that you can help others with. Everything happens for a reason. I just wish that I could ingrain this into my younger self. A lot of people are like, oh, enjoy the moment. I would go back. I would do this. Well, up until my 19 years, I would go back to Little C Hope and I would say, hey, stop trying to control everything. You're gonna be fine. And you know what? Everything happens for a reason. You are on the path that you are meant to be on. There is no right or wrong, and everything is gonna work out just the way it's supposed to. I hope you enjoyed this episode today. Kind of a shorter episode, but I really just wanted to solidify these points of what it's like battling open and closed doors. And now I see life as just such an exciting journey. Even in the hard times, I've really been finding a way to keep my peace, guard my peace, and trust in God and trust that everything is working out how it's supposed to. Even in the rough times, you don't even see the people that you're encountering, or whether it's in the good times or the bad times, you never know what is happening in the bigger picture. Because it's so easy, like we said, to get narrow-minded on what's in front of us. But just remember, who has the bird's eye view? And what is really going on? We may never fully be able to see right now, but it's all going to make sense at some point and at the end of the day. It will. It's all going to really come. I truly believe it's all going to be like a puzzle piece that fits together. And beautifully be laid out before us and really make sense. Each of our journeys, each of our paths, each of our ups and downs. Find peace, protect your peace. You all are so amazing. If nobody has told you that they love you today, I love you and the Lord loves you. And just remember, if everything happens for a reason and it's going to work out for me, it's going to work out for you too. Own that, find peace in that, and honestly, just enjoy the ride of life. Thanks so much for listening. It means the world that you would take time out of your day to tune into this podcast. I hope you go into the world with peace, light, and an abundance of joy. Oh, and just remember one thing. Stay humble, but hungry. Special thanks to Lucas Chambers, who composed the music for today's podcast. Until we meet again, my dear friend.